Hello everyone, and welcome to the 46th plagiarized episode of Analyzing Evil, featuring Soy Baker from every goddamn game these days. Perhaps one of the most overused and overcast actors in the video game industry, Troy Baker, topped with an unlikable personality, has earned his spot on Santa's naughty list. Hey, what can I say? Christmas is coming up soon, so let's begin. Now, from my perspective, Troy Baker is basically a less likable version of Nolan North. They appear in a lot of the same games ranging from different genres, whether it be goddamn Transformers, or whatever the fuck Naughty Dog makes these days. I've started to have a distaste for Troy Baker. Not too long ago, I made my case that Pedro Pascal was overcast in Hollywood. And well, I can say the same thing for Troy Baker. The dude is in absolutely everything. And it's not even like I don't enjoy his performances. He was good in the Cybertron games. I didn't know he had it in him. And he actually did a pretty good job as Indiana Jones with that Harrison Ford impression. But that's not the reason I don't like him. Let's start from the top. The main reason is that he feels so out of touch. I know he was probably contractually obligated to, but his defense of The Last of Us Part 2 before it even came out was bloody awful. Even Cosmotard Variety Hour had a better defense for the game. And that was the moron who said that Joel wasn't a beloved character because he does bad things? Like, what? To sum up Troy Baker's pre-release defense of the game, it was essentially the cliche cop-out argument of going into the game with an open mind and not going in expecting the story you want to be told. Like, Jesus Christ, bro. The dude fucking knew deep down that the game's story was gonna suck and it would be a stupid, divisive mess. I've been saying for a while now that The Last of Us Part 2 was just a poor man's Black Ops 2. Both sequels, both killed off major characters, including the main character of the previous game, but one wasn't an anger-inducing rage-bait shit show that made you want to throw your controller at the TV. And it's kind of sad that Call of Duty of all games managed to have a better story about revenge and the cycle of violence. And Call of Duty was the kind of game you played back in 2009, with all the sweaty no-scope tryhards with their fuzzy mics, calling everyone else names, such as the homophobic F-word slur I shall not repeat here. But getting back on topic, Soy Baker's defense was fucking awful. And as I said, he knew the game's story was no good. I know actors are just told what to do, but given the desperate hardline defenses of the game that have come out since, surely Soy Baker could have had at least 1% of the kind of logical loopholes and excuses those fangirls had. Apparently not. In fact, Soy Baker, whenever he's spoken on anything he's in, he comes off as very hollow and corporate. I remember watching one of the promotional trailers for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and just listen to how generic he sounds.
What if I told you there was a connection between ancient cultures around the world?
I would tell you you're full of shit.
A great circle. Does it exist?
Probably not, no.
Is it the key to some lost power?
Why the fuck would I care?
That's up to you to uncover.
Go to hell.
I'm Troy Baker, and I play indie.
Jesus, even in a scripted trailer, Soy Baker just comes across as corporate and uninspired. Like, bro, put some personality into the trailer. Something funny I heard in this trailer was Soyboy here remarking how he saw Indiana Jones in theaters and never imagined he would have been wearing the hat so many years later, and that it's a dream come true. On top of that being a cookie cutter statement, from what I heard, Troy Baker wasn't even that interested in playing Indy at first, rather than him being enthusiastic about the role and jumping on it right away. Like, cut the crap, Soyboy. He barely did a better job with a script, so look at how bad he did just speaking out of his ass. The dude really is the Pedro Pascal of the gaming industry. He can certainly act, but he doesn't have real enthusiasm or passion outside of that, and he's overused to the point that he's become a disease. I can say Nolan North certainly has that second problem too, but the reason I prefer Nolan North over Soy Baker is because one is not a complete bore off screen. Troy Baker is tedious to listen to in those two examples I just gave, and honestly, he'd have a better reputation if he just shut the fuck up and stuck to the acting, rather than speaking as himself. In fact, I should note that Nolan North will be at a convention I'm going to in a month from now, and I've been told he's very chatty and nice from someone on my Discord server, so I look forward to meeting him. I don't know if I'd do the same for Troy Baker though. My first impressions of him away from his acting roles completely scared me off. And things like how he promoted NFTs, yeah, that was a huge turnoff. Yeah, I should probably mention how Soyboy tried promoting NFTs with the statement, "You can hate or you can help create," which didn't go down too well. That's probably another example of him just being out of touch with the world. I heard he later drew out from the NFT shit, but his initial defense just sucked and was painful to listen to. Like, really, bro? It's just a continued nightmare of a lame guy who has absolutely no personality and is better just keeping his mouth shut and just acting. The dude is so uninteresting, and you'd think he'd put his acting skills in to make himself a more flattering person. But of course not. Maybe I'm just ranting aimlessly, and this might not be a good enough reason to have him in this series, but to be honest, I just hold such apathy towards the man. He comes off as a disjointed corporate yes man, and those are the sorts of actors I hate the most. I understand that brutal honesty can lead to you being unemployed, but Soyboy doesn't even try to be passionate about anything. I doubt he genuinely gave a shit about The Last of Us Beyond a means to boost his gaming resume, and I can say the same for Indiana Jones. I don't know what the dude likes in reality, but it certainly isn't video game franchises and their stories. So that, in short, is my basic problem with Troy Baker. An uninteresting, boring guy who would do better if he just kept his mouth shut and stuck to acting. Call it petty, but I think enough has happened for Troy Baker to qualify as evil. Thank you for listening to this episode of Analyzing Evil. What do you think of Soy Baker? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm JJ Plagiarisms, and until next time, what are stories but mystery boxes?